company was founded around 1984. At the time, my dad, Ed Cooper, and my uncle, George Hiskus, were in the trash hauling business for a number of years. And they'd recently sold their trash business, and they were working with a small portable toilet company.
So the toilet company had 2 trucks and maybe 200 toilets. But the guy who invented the plastic portable toilet, George Harding, came to pay him a visit one day, and he said, well, we should work out a deal together, and maybe we can manufacture here in Indiana. So they had a couple cocktails and wrote out a little contract on a napkin, and that's how it all started.
As time went on, we grew and prospered, and we got more thermoformers, and eventually went into rotational molding and started with injection molding and kept on going until here we are.
My dad got sick with cancer in 2005, and he started stepping back a little bit, and I took over more and more responsibility. And then in 2007, he passed away. And my brother and I bought the company from the estate, and every year we grew a little bit and invested more back into the company, and we grew some more and invested. And that's been our policy, to this day, is we always invest back into the company, invest back into the people that work for us.
My first time ever working at PolyJohn, we were around the dinner table, and my dad said, you know what, I think I'm gonna start having you work at PolyJohn. And I already had plans the next day. I thought he was joking. And at 5 a.m, my door gets knocked in, says, get up, you're going to PolyJohn. So ever since then, I've been here.
My grandpa used to pick me up 4:30 in the morning to get down to Whiting, and it was a small company. I mean, it was a really tight, hardworking group. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody still knows everybody, I guess. We've just grown. The family's gotten bigger, I guess.
So I've known the Cooper family for a long time, and Grandpa Cooper, Ed Cooper, who started the business, I always remember him being around. He was a very charismatic person. He controlled the room, and he made people around him better in a lot of different ways. I think that's what was a big driving factor in making the company what it is. He inspired people to work their hardest and to put effort into what they're doing to make something better. So that PolyJohn sense, that the way PolyJohn operates started with him, and the family just continues that.
I was working at the Indiana Harbor Yacht Club as a bartender, and Ed Cooper was a member there, and he was there on lunch. I gave him my resume, and Ed got me an interview, and then Ed came up again on his lunch, and he wrote me an offer on a beverage napkin and told me that I start Monday. And that began my career 21 years ago at PolyJohn.
PolyJohn was a small manufacturer of portable restrooms, and I was in the waste business back in those days, and we diversified our lineup and went into the portable restroom business, and I started buying restrooms from PolyJohn and became friends with the founder, Ed Cooper, and I left the waste business, and he called me up and wanted me to do some consulting work for him for a couple of weeks. So I flew up to Whiting, Indiana, and that was 2 weeks, was 31 years ago.
The Cooper family has blessed my family for 32 years. Mike always tells us that PolyJohn does well if our customers do well. PolyJohn Canada has a bright future. We have many people with many talents that continue to work together and grow our company.
I was called by a previous boss who said he's working at PolyJohn now, and he needed some help with the main front office they were building because they were just starting up. And I was like, well, I have a job lined up next week, but I have some time I can come out and help. I went down there, and we were working on the office, and I think it was a couple days, and time went on, and I got done early. So then Ed came around and said, hey, I got a machine coming, and could you help unload it tomorrow? So the next day we unloaded the machine, brought it in the plant, and Ed, he was like, well, hey, you think you got time? You could put this thing together, maybe get it a little bit closer so when the manufacturer gets here, we're just that much further ahead. I started pushing the machines around, or the sections together, and bolting it and wiring things up, and Ed came back later and he's like, I guess he found out I had this other job, so he comes back later and he sees the machine and the progress, and he's like, well, you're not working for that other company, you're working for me. So that was how everything started for me at PolyJohn. That was 36 years ago.
I started in PolyJohn 29 years ago. I started in a unit assembly. I was building units when I started, maybe for like 3 months. And after that, they made me supervisor of unit assembly. And I was doing supervisor in unit assembly for like a year. Then they put me in sinks, to build sinks over there, put me in charge and build the sinks for like a couple years. Then after that, they moved to Rotomo. And I've been since then, in Rotomo.
After George Harding and George Hiskis and Ed Cooper started the company, it was running for a little while. They asked me to come out and talk with them because the business was getting bigger than what they were used to handling, and they needed somebody else to come in and help them. They offered me a position without a job description. They just said, we don't know what you do or how you do it, just come and do it. So I was able to just be involved. They invited me to be involved in a lot of different things. So I've watched the company grow. Everybody was always rolling up their sleeves and doing the best that they could. We all grew together as a company. We all shared what we could bring to the table and built upon that. So if you think of a building being built, that's really what it was. Over the years, the foundation was there, and we just kept adding layers and layers and layers and kept building it up to where it is today with just a group of good people, dedicated people, committed to serving their customers, providing quality products, and just, Ed always had a saying, I don't care how you get it done, just do it.
PolyJohn has evolved and progressed over the years, and over the 35 years I've been there, I've watched them grow into 6 thermoforming machines, 5 rotational molders, 5 injection molding machines, a sheet line, 6 warehouses, and we do international distribution.
Sam and Gus and the team that they're developing now is going to take this company and, into the heights. They just do a very good job. They treat people right. They're smart. They got goals for the future. I think PolyJohn's in good hands.
For PolyJohn's future, it's really exciting to see what my brother and I's third generation can do with this place. There's so much potential for growth, and with my brother taking the reins on this, I can see really good things for our future.
When I think of PolyJohn's legacy, I think about my grandpa a lot and what he did for the industry, how he treated people, how he conducted business. And I think that because of him and my dad and uncle carrying on that message of taking care of the customer, doing the right thing, being there to make sure that they're successful. And we're going to build on the legacy that they left us and take this thing to the next level to make sure that we're better operationally. Our customer service is top notch. We're continuing to take care of the customer and being there when they need us.
Hi, this is Mike Cooper from PolyJohn. I'm the president.
My name is Gus Cooper. I'm the Human Resources Manager at PolyJohn.
I'm Ken Cooper from PolyJohn.
And we are there when you need us.